Looks like everything is live. Yeah. I'll wait a few minutes. Hopefully microphone or this microphone will last long enough. I just filmed a video before this and this microphone was not recharged very long. Maybe 15 minutes. I do have one watching. Mike Mason's first. Woohoo! Do you watch a lot of TV, Mike? This is going to be like TV. Nah, just watch YouTube videos. Devin, second. Alan, third. All the usual suspects. I got some notes. I'm trying to be prepared for these, but I want you guys to throw me some questions I'm not prepared for. Yeah, it would be more fun that way. Mike Tufts. Everyone say hello to Mike since he says hello to everybody. Zane Christensen, love your work. Thank you, thank you. I'm very glad. How many pounds are there both strings good for that you're making? That's a good question. If you allow me, hold on a second. I'm going to go get them. I don't have my calipers, so I can't measure the diameters. Okay, but let's see. That one, they both have little loops at the tip or on one end. Golly, I can't even get. Now, this one here is about 1/8 of an inch, maybe less. Let's see. 3/32. It's not thick enough, but it can probably work on a 35-pound bow. This one, on the other hand, is for a 50-pound, 40 to 50-pound bow for a friend of mine. But I'll be making more. This is dried long enough to where I can now put on a bow. Let's see. I got a measuring thing here. I'm missing some of the chat because I got distracted for a second here. It varies, right? But it's about 1/8 of an inch in diameter. All right. This is a combination of backstrap sinew on the loop down to, maybe 4 inches, and then it's leg sinew for the rest of it. Okay. And it's, let's see. It's not quite my full span. As far as my arms go, I usually try to measure the span by just stretching it out while I'm making it. Arms length, both arms, just in case I need a little bit extra. This one is 53.5. Can you hear me? 53.5 inches long. It's just barely long enough for the bow that it's for. Okay. And what I did was I covered it with Type Bond 3 glue. This is where I clamped the weight on it when I hung it up. See how it's all flat? I clamped the weight. I tied a knot and I clamped the weight. Happy Friday. I need to get back to the chat. But anyway, I had to sand it because the glue makes all those little bumps that are sticking out. It makes those bumps really sharp. So I had to sand the string after I put the waterproof glue on it. And I want the string to be waterproof because I'm going to let the secret out. My friend is going to use the bow as a musical instrument. So he cannot have the string all getting wonky, especially on stage. in case it gets wet too. You know, it could rain and whatever. How many pounds? So the thin one, it's less than an eighth. I would go up to 35 pounds. The one that's an eighth of an inch in diameter, up to 55 pounds. And every time you add, let's say, a 16th, you would add 10 more pounds to that weight. But when it gets really thick, like a quarter inch, you need to think about using some other material or higher grade material. Leg sinew, you've got to go thicker when you make your strings. You can make thin strings out of backstrap sinew. It's a lot stronger. The pounding of the leg sinew weakens the leg sinew, so you need a thicker bow string. All right. Mike just bought some of your boppers. Devin, Mike just sent me some stuff too. Oh, I don't have it. Yeah, I put it in the shop. Hello, Patrick. You pronounced the name correctly. Stidley. All right, good. Alan Cole. All right, sparking. Somebody's got a pipe going, sparking up the pipe. Bill Taylor says, hello, Mike Mason. Saw the short on what you do about the brown tine cut. What you do about the brown. I don't understand that one. It's doing the advancing 10 comments at a time again. Smash the like button, Alan says. Well, Patrick, it's about to be in an earbud because it's time for BEE. Are you in? Mike, you use too many abbreviations or BEE. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Howdy, Jim Collins. Mr. Tufts, I'm going to order some hand pads and boppers from Danny's store very soon. Yeah. Mike Tufts has his items for sale on Danny Collins' website. I don't want to make a mistake. That's why I haven't said it yet. I can't remember exactly what the name is, so I'm not going to make a mistake and say it wrongly. I had a business card. It's Danny Collins Lithics and Leather, but the name of the address is something else. It's amazing making a bow string out of sinew. That's truly a craftsman. Oh, thanks. I've done it before many times. It's just been years since I've done more than one. Hi, Alan, Bill Taylor. Patrick, where do you get the clear but tough obsidian? That was some very unique looking stuff. I get it from Alan Cole, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alan. I think that's from you. Thank you, Guard Check. I appreciate that. I love the hand pads. Like how the slot widens if you flip it. Yeah. Mike's getting creative with the hand pads. FlintKnappingTradition.com. Or is it traditions with an S.com? I don't know. Not me. I didn't get it. So if it's not from you, Alan, it's from Bill Taylor. But he only collects this stuff for fun. He doesn't sell any of it. Jesse Para. Hey, Patrick, happy Friday. Happy Friday. It was Pink Lady. Okay. So, yeah. Pink Lady. That answers that question. Awesome. I'm glad you are still producing them. They're really great from what I hear. Thanks for all the interesting tools. Yeah. Talking to Mike Tufts there, probably. Anyway, I got something. I don't see him yet, but let's see who. I'm making some. I got an outside project for one of you guys. I want to make sure I get the name right. Joe Barry. I finished up I added some detail to the wooden arrow points. Thanks for answering my question. You're welcome. Yeah, ask questions or or not. You can talk to each other in the chat. I'll watch and see. I'll pick up some information. It's tomato soup. Yeah, tomato soup for the soup tonight. I've got to taste some of that coffee substitute. One of you guys sent it to me, or my sister sent it to me secretly, because it's ordered straight from Amazon, and I don't know who sent it. It just says the Amazon address. And if you don't know what to ask me, I'll just ask myself questions. Okay? Yeah, I'm not going to show a picture of my wife. You can doubt that I ever had one, but I'm not going to show a picture. No. I have protect the innocent. I'll throw out a request before you finish your Obsidian sessions. Modern Blade, please. Modern Blade. Okay. Hey, Eric. Patrick, how many bows have you made? I have no idea. Really, I don't. Minimum 20. Minimum. 2 dozen minimum. I have no idea how many I've made. I have a picture in my mind of different years. Some years are very productive. Some years were not. Some years I made a bunch of bows for kids. I'm forgetting some. At least 2 dozen. And they're all Native American inspired. Right? No, not all. Almost all are Native American inspired bows, and some were direct copies. I made exact copies from books of Apache bows and arrows and the whole set, plus quivers, as close to the detail as possible. 2 of those sets, Apache bows. One was not sinew backed. I think maybe, okay, both of them were not sinew backed. At that time, I wasn't doing any sinew backing when I was making those Apache reproductions, but I'll be making them again. Yeah, now that I have more time. I'm not Mr. Taxi or Mr. Nurse anymore. I don't show my family on the internet. Yeah, I've heard that's bad policy. And I believe it. I don't know exactly why, but I think I should keep my family out of the picture, so to speak. Patrick seems like he is a woman slayer and gets hit on all the time. I don't know about that one. The thing is, if a woman hits on me, I don't know what to say. I shut down. So I don't know. I've made about 12 bows, but only about 5 ever lasted. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know the percentage of mine that have broken, but I've broken at least. I've had like 10 of my own personal bows that I really like that I kept, and I broke half of those, like 5 of those. Some just by letting them stand too long without applying finish constantly, so they dried out too much. That was my mistake. I figured it would be okay, but no. And then the others would take too much set. Yeah, I would say 40%, 30 to 40% of bows will break anyway, if you use them constantly. It's very rarely that you have one for more than 3 years. After that, you get cracks and weird stuff happening. Are you going to sell one of the bows? Yeah, the strings in this auction, no, but they will be coming. I'm going to sell probably more than 1 string per auction. Have you made any overshot videos? Yeah, I could make a video with the only overshot if all you want to see is debitage. All right, Eric? All my exes living in Texas. Well, that's not a good thing. Like the song, I know, I get it. There are advantages to bifacing in your hand rather than. Are there advantages to bifacing in your hand rather than your lap? Yes. You have a bigger range of motion and you can hit a lot harder if you do it freestyle rather than on your lap. I like the option of being able to strike extremely hard and at any angle I want quickly without having to worry about the pad. I'm just learning blade course saves so much of the rock, but assuming curved blades is the downside and why it evolved into bifacing. Yeah, probably not as strong for arrow points and curved as well. Yeah, that's the problem, curving. But you can strike off. You can strike off arrowhead spalls and flat blades from a bifacial core. Okay, so try that. You don't need a conical core. You can develop it as a biface and knock off flat blades to work with, unless you want narrow blades. See, a flat bifacial core will get you wide blades, not the narrow ones. I'm in the process of making Osage Orange right now, about to start tillering shortly. Yeah, Osage Orange is excellent stuff. Someone asked me, what's the best wood? All things taking into everything taken into account. For new guys, for old hands at this, for people who are short on money or short on skill, some advanced skill, shooting for long distance or short distance. In any situation, there's always one that always comes out with the most points, and that's Osage Orange. Yeah, bending it and keeping its shape. That's an important one. Osage Orange comes out on top of that one too. So yeah, but I've broken Osage Orange bows both during the tillering process and in its lifespan. You have to take care of that wood. It's not susceptible to rot very much. It's susceptible to drying and cracking if you're not careful. Don't store it in a hot, dry place like I did. I'm in the process of making an Osage. Yeah, I have some Neolithic uniface points that I want to try and copy. All right. Where'd you find those? Tell me where you found them. Or the country where you found them, I guess, right? Don't give away specific spots. I have some, let's see. Yeah, Mike's comments on that. I'm not going to get into the dating stuff or whatever. Good evening, Patrick. Hey, Dwayne Griffin. Is this your first live stream? Donnie, why would you ask a question like that? You know that they did use them. I missed. Oh, okay. A beer run. It's been beer 30 a long time ago. So is mine. I want to see the actual overshot versus the mistakes that happened later on. You want to see an actual overshot versus the mistakes that happened later on. You mean an overshot on purpose? Because that'd be like showing you how to do a step fracture on purpose. You got to give me kind of, Eric, just tell me exactly why you want the overshot, just so you can see. Because I have videos where there's overshots in the beginning stages, and it didn't matter too much because, it's the beginning stage. Freestyling is good. Yeah. Freehand is what we call it when we don't have the workpiece on our lap. It's just out floating in the air, or you can stand up and nap. That's freehand. If you can stand up and nap, you're freehanding it. I want a Victorian era glass. Why do you want it, Donnie? I also tried the metal rod under the leg trick to make arrowheads. It's going pretty well. Oh, nice. Good. I'm glad it works for you. Not everyone can hold it that way. Mike Mason, 2 separate parents equals 4 sets of grandparents at Christmas. Yeah, if you have generous grandparents. Yeah, I think I might have gotten gifts from grandparents twice. That's it on Christmas. Right? Let me think about that one. Yeah, I went to Mexico one year. I think I got a chess set from my grandfather when I was 8 years old. He said it was a Christmas gift. I think that's it. It's a good Christmas gift, yeah. I made it to the party. R. Snyder made it to the party. It's not a party yet. You got to wait till there's like 50 people on here. Let's see. White oak makes a very snappy bow. White oak. Yes, it does. I've used both white oak from the lumberyard and I've used live oak, which is considered a white oak. Live oak works pretty good too. You just got to find a long enough piece that's straight enough. It's not that easy. I thought people were just making that up. What were you thinking people were making up? Just if you've obviously not traveled into Mexico, right? Into the indigenous populations in Mexico. They carve up all kinds of stuff. They make stuff out of stone, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I bought Uniface Neolithic. And it's not just for tourists, okay? It's you'll learn a lot down there. Just go visit. If you want to be surrounded and immersed in indigenous culture and Native American culture, go to Mexico. It's the simplest way. And then go further into South America if you can. I never did because it's just too far. Right? It takes too long. We had kids and all that. We took the kids to Mexico a few times. I bought Uniface Neolithic African points from Mali. From the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. That's cool. I never look at Indian women the same way ever again. I bought a box of your pieces before. I love your videos. Hope all is well. Yeah, everything is well. Yep, everything is well. And it's winter. It's actual winter with snow. I'm silly. I get excited about that. I was away from snow for so long when I was living in the South. Oh gosh, I don't even want to think about it. I've lived away from snow for too long. Although I don't ski, I don't go sledding, I don't go ice skating, I don't go snowmobiling. I'll hike the trails once in a while. I don't think I've ever worn snowshoes. So I'm not a big outdoor winter enthusiast guy. I just like seeing it. I have a box of your pieces. The math checks out. Updates on Ishii videos. I'm excited. Sorry. Any updates on Ishii videos? I'm supposed to, I got it on my schedule for me to do this, is to go through it and read excerpts from one of these books that I've got. Ishii in Two Worlds. That's the first one I'll be reading excerpts from that don't get talked about enough. But the videos on the Ishii points and the Ishii bows and arrows are coming eventually. Yep. Now that I have more time. The trolls aren't here yet. Well, they're here, but they're more tame. Yeah. I deleted one and they all tamed down. Like, I don't know how many live streams ago, I deleted one of them, one of their comments, and they become more tame. Besides, if I remind them that they helped the algorithm, they stop commenting. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. Have you ever met a Kiowa Native American? There are a few in Texas. If I did, they didn't say. I have met Native Americans in Texas, but they usually don't say what tribe they're affiliated with. Well, they didn't with me. They didn't tell me the tribe. Let's see, except for Navajo. I met a Navajo, a Diné, and he told me. But other than that, I've met other Native Americans, but they didn't tell me. Yeah, I can't remember if I've met a Kiowa. Donnie, don't get so upset. No snow in southern Minnesota. You guys, you don't have snow yet? Worst material you actually enjoyed napping. The worst material, with a bad reputation, I assume, that I enjoyed napping. Well, number one is the mahogany obsidian. It has a bad rap, but I enjoy napping that a lot. Let me think about that one. Like let's say that everyone hated it until I started napping it, and then they changed their mind. This happened at a nap in, and I was napping. I was napping some Texas chert, and I was making something that looked pretty good. And I can't remember if it was bull gravel. I think okay. Well, let's just say bull gravel has the worst reputation, but I actually enjoy napping some of it. I do in the raw state. Yeah, and they couldn't believe it when I was. I remember one time I was napping some really bad stuff, and I was making a nice thin blade out of it, and people said, "I want that. I want some of that." So okay, here's a flake of it. See what you can do, and it's funny to see them pressure flake on something that's extremely tough. How do you do it? You got to nap it freehand and use indirect percussion with a lot of force. That's how you do it. You're not understanding how hard I'm hitting that. Oh, I guess. I have a friend I grew up with that's Kickapoo, maybe spelled wrong. I think that's spelled correctly. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Kickapoo. There's a Kickapoo in Oklahoma, I believe, right? Well, there's a community in Texas also. I can't remember where it is. Well, yeah, the different tribes hate each other. Some are embarrassed to be descendants of cannibals. Hmm. I mean, you go down to Mexico and they'll say they're Aztecas or whatever, and their ancestors are cannibals. They're not ashamed of that. They just don't want to. They don't want to. They have a quality that's rare. It's called being discreet. Yeah. YouTube flagged one of my bopper videos, the one I made for Sal, and I had to message them and tell them they were perverts. And they were used for flint napping. Yeah. That's one of the things in flint napping videos you got to watch out for. And some of the terminology in flint napping can get kind of X-rated too. I'm not going to say it. Speaking of snow, it snowed here in Alabama earlier this month. It was insane. Yeah, I saw that. Louisiana, Alabama, northern Florida. One of my favorite places in northern Florida is the white sand beaches. Now I saw the name a second ago. Now I can't figure out the name. But anyway, we used to go there almost every summer for a while with the kids. Destin, Florida. I heard that Cherokees regularly consume. I don't know. It's not that these days. No one is into consuming. No one is cannibals these days. Nobody. I saw skies on Bourbon Street. Skiers on Bourbon Street. Really? Wow. Donnie, you have energy for a cow patty. Good answer. I know the mahogany obsidian is snap and half-fish. That bull gravel is in the mail on its way to my house. Yeah, you won't enjoy it unless you heat treat it. Unless you are able to really, really deliver some seriously hard hits on that stuff. Yeah, it's a fight. It's gonna be a fight. If you like to fight, that stuff is good. What about that evil rainy buttes? Well, if as long as it doesn't break because of the existing cracks, I like rainy buttes, and I know a lot of people that like it too. Well, I don't know a lot of people. Let me put it this way: the people that I know that nap it like it, and I don't know a lot of people like that, but yeah, they like it. The rainy buttes can be evil, but it's not too bad. Yeah, you just have to put up with the cracks. Enjoy you and your videos very much. Just saying. Bowhunt 555. Thank you very much. Uh, do weird stuff behind closed doors. Well, I know people do weird stuff behind closed doors. They do weird stuff, even not behind closed doors. What are you talking about? I've seen too much weird stuff. Everyone is not discreet anymore. You know what I mean? There used to be a word. Look it up. You pronounce it like this: discreet. Okay, you don't reveal your religion, you don't reveal your sexual preferences, you don't reveal any family history, or you don't bring out pictures of your whole family and give out your name and address and all that. You used to be discreet. That's the environment I grew up in. Some people are still that way, and I think it's awesome. I don't want to know your nasty business. Yeah, I will probably destroy my hammerstones. Yeah, you'll destroy your hammerstones and boppers on the hard rocks. Yeah. Tell us some of the weird stuff behind closed doors that you do. Golly, I was feeling cringy this morning because I was watching my latest video on that little barbed arrowhead that the latest video. I'm saying to myself, I look at my old videos and I'm cringy and I get I mean I get all cringe when I watch my old videos, and there I go goofing off in this video, and it's still cringy. I haven't changed, and I talk about weird stuff. I just look for any way to entertain myself when I'm napping, I suppose. And I go off on tangents and try to be funny, but it's mostly cringy. But no, I'm not gonna. If I did weird stuff, you would not hear about it. No. What's the sense of doing weird stuff if you can't be sneaky? Yeah, I will probably destroy my hammerstones. Thanks for the live stream. Oh, you're welcome, Sam. Don't tell us some of yours, Donnie. Do not. Like I said, I don't want to know anyone's nasty business. Sorry, the rawhide circle cut in the spiral stretched into a scene. Oh, you know what? I bought a. Hold on a second. Hold on. I bought a groundhog skin. Hold on. Yeah, people are saying, "What? What did you buy?" It's a groundhog. They say you can make bowstrings out of it, right? I've been looking for years for someone that sells that or pelts in the raw state that's not into taxidermy. I haven't been able to find anybody, so I just ordered it off a taxidermist. $89 or $90 for this little groundhog, but it's supposed to be primo quality. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm going to look up the references on how to make the bowstring from the groundhog skin. Some say you cut it. It's a cased skin, so some say you cut it in a spiral from a patch or an area on the skin. Just cut it in a spiral and go toward the center. Some people say you have to cut it the other spirally way, where you cut through the back and then the belly and then the back and then the belly until you cut it all that way. But I think that the belly skin is going to be thinner than the back skin, so that doesn't make sense to me. But we'll see how it goes. I'll look at this more closely and I'll give you an update. I'm going to make a bowstring or two out of this, however many it can make. Okay, but I got excited about that. And yeah, I took one for the team and spent money on that, more than I thought I was ever going to spend on that. Yeah, I've seen it cut in a spiral and stretched out as a bowstring with a squirrel. I've tried squirrel too. It's too weak. Maybe just the squirrels in my backyard were wimpy. I don't know. It's never cringy if you're having fun. Yeah, it's not. Well, I don't know. I got embarrassed. I embarrassed myself. If you could have a superpower, what would that be? I used to say invisibility. Yeah. But maybe just understanding people. If I could just understand what's going on, why this and why that. I think just to be able to understand people, that would be like so satisfying. Why do you do that, Donnie? Don't reveal too much information. We used to call it TMI. I don't see that anymore either. The abbreviation TMI. Yeah, pretty cool. Awesome. Fantastic. Tremendous. Is it better to use steel or a copper hammer on the really hard stuff? Thank you. I try both. Sometimes it's better to use steel than copper, but try both and see how it works for you. It depends. I've had people say this stuff is really, really tough, and it wasn't. And then some people say, oh, I use copper on this, and I try copper, and I can't get anything to flake. How do you use copper on this? It doesn't flake. I got to use my steel. So either way, I don't know. Just try both. Beer run successful. Have a great news, everybody. I found my cedar tree for the bow build. I can think of at least 4 staves. I can get 4 staves. That's good. Feel free to sound off on curing advice. Yeah, make sure it doesn't dry too quickly. If you have a basement, put it in the basement. Cedar shouldn't develop any mold. You can spray it with different things. I recommend taking the bark off, but if you can't, spray it with insecticide, the DEET or whatever. And then put wax on the ends. Wax is the best sealer for end grain. The next best sealer is shellac. The next best sealer is everything else that they say was good. Some of the epoxies are pretty good for sealing the ends. You got to seal the ends, the end grain, because that's where it'll split. No groundhog day for that groundhog, yeah. Your early videos is what got me started, and your yap is certainly why I've stayed. Well, that's awesome. Entertaining. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, that's good. That makes me feel better. A lot better. I enjoy the yapping too. Listen while I nap mostly. I see. A time machine and being invisible and see how they did things. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be interesting. But it would be interesting to a point, because inevitably you'll see that they probably did some things that they could have done better, and you just feel sorry for them. Right? And then in some ways you probably will be astonished because of how quick they made them. I think some of them were so skilled that they would make them extremely fast, like they say in some of the accounts. But as I'm getting older and more experienced in napping, I'm slowing way down. So If I were to speed up, I don't know if I could ever improve. That's a good question. I should ask myself that question. Do you think that you can actually improve while speeding up? Or does improvement mean only slowing down, taking your time and getting more careful? For me, the more I speed up, the less I advance. I can create a tool pretty fast, but it's, it's not in the perfect category, so to speak. I can't stand using copper. I only use steel and iron. Good. Yeah, copper, you know, I'm using it now because I from time to time I'll use different materials. I like copper though. I gotta say, I have to admit the copper's pretty good for me. I like steel too though. Yeah. Okay, Tony. Let's see. I'm not going to vandalize public restrooms. No. When you use reverse twist method to make cordage, how do you do the splices and hold? I have made some nice cordage from yucca, but don't understand how the spliced parts are holding and not pulling out. It's friction. Friction holds everything together. That's why you twist it. That's why twisting allows it to stay together. Twisting creates more friction. I've got a, if you look up Jack Crafty bowstring or sinew bowstring, you can see how I do it with the sinew. I have not made a video with yucca, I don't think, on how to make the bowstring with yucca fibers. Can you make a video of serrated Indian arrow points? Yeah, just type in Jack Crafty serrated arrowhead or serrated. I have 3 or 4 of them. Serrated obsidian. I have serrated obsidian. If you look up Stockton, I've got a Stockton that has lots of serrations. If you look up that video. Yeah, I have a Stockton video, at least one. Just in the meantime, I'll make some more serrated obsidian videos. Also, could we get a tour of your shed? No. You don't want a tour of my shed because it's just stacks and stacks of stuff. It's about the journey, not the destination. Yeah, I like the destination. I don't like the journey. I like the yapping as well. Listening to Patrick helps me sort out BS from my day when I'm happy. Really? That's good to know. Last live, I recommended people who can't get yucca look up Joshua Needle. I have experimented much, but it's very similar. Very strong fibers. Had a medicinal use, and the rods can be used as soap. The roots can be used as soap. Joshua Needle tree or bush or plant. I second the tour of the shed. No, I don't. Don't make me do it. I will have to clean it. I will never show it when it's just stacks of stuff and all disorganized. I'll have to clean it up and then empty it out so it does. There's nothing in there. Yeah, then I'll show it. When I seal green wood, I use candle wax or anchor seal. Anchor seal, yeah, I've heard of that one. I like using. What did I use last time? I like using Type Bond 3. That's all I use now is Type Bond 3 to seal the ends of my end grain. It's just so much easier because I always have it on hand anyway. Except when it freezes, I make a mistake and leave it out, and it freezes and it ruins. You can't freeze that PVA glue; it'll ruin it. Thanks, Patrick. You're welcome. Frodo Joe, what's up, Bushy? You're here for a while? I still got an hour left, hour and 15 minutes. Would beef tendon work as bowstring material? Yes, beef tendon does work. I should have spelled haven't experimented much. Oh, you haven't. Do you ever keep any of the points you make, or do you just sell them? I keep maybe one a month. But I used to keep 90% of my work and only sell maybe a few pieces, like 10%. Let's just say just to put out some percentages. Now it's the opposite, and if I do keep it, it's only to admire it for a week or two, and then I sell it. So I sell like 99% of what I make now. I don't keep it around. It gets on my nerves actually to keep my stuff around because it just ends up being in a box. I don't take the time to make cases or to put them in cases. Although I have purchased a couple of cases, I don't put my points in there. I don't have a keeper case. And whenever I do build up a bunch of stuff, if someone says, "Can I buy those?" I'll say, "Yeah, I'll sell one to you." No, I want to buy those. Okay. All of them? Yeah, I had a guy buy everything in my case one time at a Knapping. I said, "Dang, this is much better than keeping him in a box." Now we're the troll. One of the trolls has arrived. Yeah. Think of some interesting stuff instead of asking these foolish questions. Snakedown points are crazy serrated. Yeah. I agree. I'll never show my shed. Yeah, well, do you nap in your shed? And yes, thank you. I'll bet most of us are ADD Flint nappers with messy spaces. Oh, yes. If my space is messy, that means I'm being productive. I'll clean up afterwards. But when I'm in the mood and when I'm in the zone and when I'm being productive, it just gets completely out of hand. Type on 3, that stuff is no joke. Yeah, it's waterproof. It's like a miracle. It's magical. And it glues wood together. It's waterproof and it glues wood together. Only people who work with wood understand that. How exciting that is. Which steel should I try first to see if I might like steel? Try steel pipe with a steel cap and use that as a bopper. You just got to grind down those little tabs that stick out on the sides of the cap. You know what I'm talking about, the black pipe steel, and you just buy one of the caps that you screw on. Make sure it's very tight when you screw it on and grind off the little tabs and then use that as a bopper. It's mild steel. That's the type you should start with. And 3/4 inch pipe is what I think I started with. You can go up to 1 inch pipe. 3/4 pipe or 1 inch pipe, I think, will make good boppers. Just get the short pieces. At Home Depot or Lowe's, you can just go get a short 6-inch piece of pipe with threads on both ends. And then you just buy the cap. I mean, it's very cheap stuff. If your shop isn't a mess, you're not even working. Are you really working? No. Commando. My keepers are a flint knife I dressed out a few deer with, and another knife I made using an antler from one of my dad's bucks. Nice. I've tried antler handles. I just don't like. I prefer wood for knife handles. That's just my preference. In case you want to know. I wish I had a shed. I had to build a circle fence from cattle fence panels to keep my neighbor's dog off me while I napped. It's a sacred place. Oh, yes, it is. You cannot have any interruptions. No interruption. Yeah, keep the neighbor's dogs away for sure. I had to keep the neighbor's chicken away. They had one chicken at one time that liked to hop the fence. And For those of you who have watched my videos for a while, you understand that the dogs would bark a lot in the background. Sometimes they weren't just barking at the neighbor or some sounds that comes from the alleyway or whatever. They were barking at the dumb chicken that would hop the fence. I have a problem not being happy with my points, even though I am pretty good. I usually am not happy a week later. Did that happen to you? Oh yeah. I'll look at my points and I'll go, I could have taken one flake there. I could have taken a flake there. I could have actually made it out of a better material. What am I doing working with this stuff? You know, that sort of thing. It happens to everybody, I think. I saw a Gursian pre-dynastic burial blade that was bifaced, then ground and pressure flaked like a modern fog blade. Very cool. Yeah. Did you actually see it in the museum? Because I want to go and actually see the real one. I've seen pictures of that, and I have a friend that is into trying to duplicate those types of knives, the Gursian blades from Egypt. Yeah, they did it. They ground down those pieces before they napped them. What is your best original artifact, point, blade, or other items? Best. I have a perfect Golandrina point from Texas, but it's snapped in half. But I got the lower half. It's perfect. And it was one of the first artifacts I ever got. And it's amazing to me how they were able to produce such perfect flakes and perfect serrations, because it has little minute serrations on the sharp part of the edge. It's ground down on the base, but they were able to make such perfect flakes to create a perfect cross section. Right where it's snapped, it's perfectly perpendicular, right? And the cross section is a perfect lens shape. I mean, the thing looks perfect. And that was my best. That is probably my best piece because I like it so much. Yeah, it's perfect. It's not random. I mean, it has random flaking on it, but it's made. You can tell they made it to spec. It's amazing. Anyway, I have some other ones that are pretty cool as far as thinness goes. And as far as needle tips, I have a couple arrowheads that have really fine delicate barbs and points with the little ones. I don't have any large blades that I consider my best, although I've got some big, thin, broken blades that were broken in manufacture. See, I like to collect what other people don't want. If they have something broken and they don't want it, I'll take it. I've got some nutting stones. Oh, I have one stone, a piece of sandstone. No, piece of limestone that someone was beginning to make a pipe out of the limestone. As an artifact from the archaic period. They were trying to make a pipe out of it. It had a natural hole in the stone, and they ground around that natural hole, and then they were trying to drill on one end to meet that natural hole. But it didn't. They didn't finish it. But they're scribing on the pipe. It's a pretty cool item, I think. To me, it is. Do you have an opinion on what Clovis bone rods were used for? Some of them, I know which ones you're talking about. They have they can be joined together in a series. I don't have an opinion on those. I've been reading a possibility that they're just attached in series for a ceremonial stick, a ceremonial item of some sort. Yeah, some of them might be projectile points. I don't really have an opinion on what they are, because you can join them together, but I've never seen a study on how straight it is once you join them together. Do you have to adjust them slightly with the glue and then wrap it, or are they perfectly straight when you overlap those joints? You know, is it perfectly straight, or are they just taking a bunch of these pieces of bone and saying maybe they could be joined together? I don't know. There's just too much unknowns with those. My shed is trashed with duck decoys and fishing stuff. Ah. I make many handles too using black locust, maple, and cherry barrel in case someone like you don't like antler. Oh, you've got some of that? Bushy, you've got some of that. I need to get some black locust. So I'll be looking to see if you've got some. All right. What got me started doing all this, I found a large tip of some kind of spear point, I assume, in my grandma's yard. Yeah, it happens a lot that way. You get interested because you find an artifact. It took me years before I actually found a real artifact. I've got some real artifacts that my dad had. Hold on. I was cleaning up today, so I got stuff scattered all over the place. He's got some artifacts from this area. There's a punctured piece of slate, and the one on this side next to my finger, that's made of some kind of conglomerate chert. The other two are just jaspers, probably from Pennsylvania. But his mom found these in New York, I think in Western New York, southwestern New York, probably near the Pennsylvania border. Yeah. So I was looking at those. They're not sharp. I was thinking, ooh, they're probably sharp. No, they're not sharp. I don't know why they're not sharp. It's probably because they've been tumbling in water or something. I always check the edge on those, on any artifact that I have. Some of them are really sharp, but most of them are not. It's probably for various reasons, or maybe they just didn't sharpen anything on the sides except near the tip, because a lot of tips from my stuff are missing. So I can't tell, my personal collection of artifacts has a lot of broken items. So the tips are missing. I can't tell you if all the tips are sharp or not. I have a feeling the tips are usually a lot sharper than the sides. Could we see some of your artifacts sometimes? Yeah, just type in Jack Crafty artifacts and you can see the stuff that I borrowed and some of my stuff. Just type in a search on YouTube for Jack Crafty artifacts. I display them in full view. My wife said the abrading is her favorite part of the videos. Thought it was funny somebody said the opposite. Yeah, so you never know. Who is one of your favorite Flint nappers? Okay, let me think. Well, I've got several people that I watch closely. The first one that comes to mind is Jason Newman. If he's out at napping, I'll watch him every time. But he's one of the Texas nappers that I'll see in a napping that you'll probably know as well. Okay. There's other guys I like watching, but nobody knows because they don't advertise themselves or they're not on Facebook or YouTube. But I'll watch them too. Somebody who has really improved a lot, and he doesn't give enough credit. He doesn't give himself enough credit is Sal. You'll see him on the comment section once in a while. Who is, yeah. My wife hates the abrasions. Yeah. You never know. Got my first Arrowhead thin using your method with copper rod indirect percussion. Awesome. Rockin' Pops Adventures. So it sounds like you're a collector of arrowheads. A lot of people who watch my channel also watch guys who go around in the streams and rivers and collect arrowheads, or fields after it's been raining. Mike Mason, set a red flag. It appears to be some type of almost green flint. What are we talking about here? I don't know. The ads. Yeah. I try to space the ads every 30 minutes. Yeah. I don't like watching ads. When I don't like watching ads, right? It pops up a little notice here on YouTube that an ad has been running. I try to space these ads out 30 minutes apart. That's the most space that YouTube allows. If you get YouTube Premium, you won't see the ads. Or if you're like my son, he'll get some kind of third-party ad blocker. And he says, Dad, you just need to get these ad blockers and you don't have to pay the subscription for it. I said, no, it's okay. I consider it a business expense. Yeah, some people listen to my videos while they sleep. That I don't know. It wakes me up if I have a Flint Knapping video on when I'm sleeping. My best friend was 3/4 grooved X in Ohio. My best find, my best friend. Although an artifact can become your best friend for sure. 3/4 grooved X in Ohio. Nice. Well, the chat is going fast, and I'm barely trying to catch up here. My wife had a dream she was a Flint Knapping because I listened to your videos while we sleep. Use earbuds. Mike says use earbuds. Black Locust all you want. All right. Wow. That's awesome. All right, Bushy. I'm going to take you up on the offer. I visited the Smithsonian American History Museum, and the collection of artifacts is overwhelming. It's hard to comprehend the skills the natives had using the tools they had. Yeah. But I'll show you. If you are a woodworker and you've got access to flakes, just go to a Knapping if you're thinking about doing this, and you'll see how easy it is to get used to using stone to make amazing things in wood. All right. If you're not a woodworker, it's going to be harder for you to imagine. But it doesn't take long to get used to using stone to create some pretty amazing things. I'm not discounting the skills that they had in the past. I'm just saying that it's not really that much of a mystery. Let's see. Here we did the same. I wonder if the slate with the hole at the top of the handle, a bow drill. No, it's not a bow drill. It's just a punctured piece of slate. Flat. You can see on this side is the side where they hit, and the other side is where it blew out. And it is smoothed. You know what I'm saying? It's been smoothed on the inside a little bit, not much, just enough so it could be hung up, I suppose. I don't know why they would do it. If I watch the indirect for a little too long, I fall asleep every time. All right. Hopefully that's not because it's boring. In Illinois, beneath a lake called Carlisle, there was an old oil rig my grandpa worked to cap for the lake. They discovered a cache of artifacts 20 feet underwater now. Yeah, that's the thing. Sea levels or water levels they rise and fall over time, and sometimes these really awesome sites get buried. You got to watch for that blue light. Got to make sure it's blue. In Illinois, okay. Love Jason Newman. Wish he still had made videos. Yeah, he doesn't make them anymore, but he still has auctions. You can still see what he makes. And if you go to the Knapping in Texas called the Heart of Texas Knapping, sometimes he's there, but you got to get there early. Like he'll be there on Thursday instead of, the Knappings usually start Friday and go until Sunday. Some of these nappers you only get to see before then because they don't stay around for the main event. They're there maybe Wednesday and Thursday and they leave before everybody gets there. Why they do that? I don't know. Maybe just so they can hang around with other nappers and that's it. I think that's why, but I don't know. It could be they have other obligations on the weekend. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if these trolls are the same person or different people. I have a feeling there's the same person, just different handles. I hid some fake artifacts in my friend's garden for her to find, and she thinks they're real. That's not a good thing. I don't recommend that. I hope you're joking. Because, fake artifacts get mixed up with the real ones. Maybe Bat knows why Jason stopped making videos. No, I haven't asked them that specific question. Let me think if he mentioned it last time. I think he finds it difficult to do it and be successful with the napping. I think it's just hard to do it and it's not enjoyable, right? But I don't know for sure. Can you nap old mining slag? Sometimes. Along the railroads, there's melted slag rock that looks kind of glassy. Yeah, you can try it. I would just say try it. But for the most part, it's nasty. Let's see. Can you recommend a third-party ad blocker? No, I can't. I don't know what they are, but my son makes fun of me and says I should stop being useless. Your videos can be classified as ASMR, yeah, which a lot of people are attracted to, yeah. I do make videos that are no talk that ASMR people tend to like, but for some reason they also listen to the other ones once in a while. Stuff with the yapping. I go off on tangents when I'm yapping. Sometimes I forget to filter silliness. So when I go back to review the video, I get, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Patrick, have you done much punch technique on tile? Yes, I am going to try it soon. I can use steel and whitetail hammer. Yeah, I've used lots of floor tile. Yeah, I might do some more. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking of doing videos for people who actually fall asleep to the videos and try to make them more quiet in terms of the abrading and the loud strikes and all that, and try not to make crashing noises during the video. See, here I can do that because it's relatively quiet back here. Back when in my other house, the dogs would interrupt every single video almost. Have you done punch technique on tile? Yes. I heard that Jason Newman is a what? No, you didn't hear that. Why did they lie? So you can easily catch you lying. You fall asleep because of the rhythm of the indirect. It's like a baby falling asleep to the hum of a car on a drive. That's interesting. Good to know. I do listen to audiobooks to fall asleep sometimes. The only times I listen to other types of videos is podcasts. Yeah, I'll listen to a podcast once in a while. If the subject is boring, if it's too interesting, it'll keep me awake. I'll listen to it. It's got to be a boring subject with boring people. So, what does that tell you about my videos? Hmm. Does it feel weird holding artifacts and hearing the same ring and tonal qualities of the piece that someone else heard while napping hundreds of years ago? It feels surreal. Well, yeah, if I think about it, definitely. Yes, if I think about that aspect, yes. Yeah. It is, yeah, it's cool. No, it's a sound for sure. I get zoned out. Okay. I heard you talking about pipe tobacco last time I was here. But do you have any cigar recommendations? Yeah. Uh, where's my cigars? Glad you asked. Dang it. I'm knocking over stuff. All right. I got into smoking cigars a few years ago. And Ben, he's a friend of mine. You're the one that he gave me the best cigars that I've uh, had up to that point, which are not very many, but let's see. I bought some. Okay, the last batch I bought was a selection of Gurkha cigars. I just remember now. These are all Gurkhas. So that's all I have to recommend right now. But uh, yeah, a variety of those. I don't know. I don't want to get into it too much because I can't remember. I'm going to reveal how much of a scatterbrain I am. Uh, Florida. Uh, I can't remember any other ones. It's a good question. I'll have to write some down. Okay. I apologize. I can't remember at the time. At the moment, I can't remember. I like cheap cigars. Yeah, I do like the cheaper ones because they're not too weird as far as the aging process goes. I have a reaction to some of the aging processes that they use. Either the mold is different in some areas, because it cures for long periods of time in some cases, and they do develop some sort of uh, it's maybe mold is the wrong word, but it develops some sort of flavor from that kind of thing. But yeah, I like the cheaper ones because they have less aging. The less the cigar has aged, the easier it is for me to enjoy it because I don't react to it. It doesn't make me feel sick. Who are your favorite YouTube nappers? I don't have any particular favorite YouTube nappers. Right? Now you're making me think. It's hard for me to come up with favorites. Yeah. I just subscribe to all of them. Well, almost all of them. But I won't tell you who are the ones that are not my favorites. I don't want to be that kind of guy. So yeah, I just subscribe to all of them, and if they're off in La La Land, I'll unsubscribe. And as far as La La Land goes, I don't care about their personality. It's what they're teaching. If they're teaching from the narrative instead of teaching from the napping, they're off in La La Land somewhere. I'll unsubscribe. If you don't know what that means, there's a way that you can, once you get skilled enough, you can read a study on a particular point or artifact or group of artifacts, and the study will say, or the author of the study will say, I think these points are made in this way. Some nappers will say, oh, I can nap that in that way, so therefore that proves that it was napped that way. No, Just because you can nap in the way that the author thinks that they were made doesn't mean that that's the way they were made. That means that it is possible to nap it that way. But so don't nap. If I find someone that's napping to the narrative, unsubscribe. Otherwise, they're all my favorites. If they don't do that, videos can be classified as lethal weapons too. I don't know. I like cheap cigars, like Black and Mild. They're both putting chocolate and fruit. Oh, you like the ones that had added flavoring, right? I don't like those. Yeah, I don't like the infused. I mean, they're good, but I get a reaction. Let me clarify. They taste great. I just get a reaction to them. My head starts spinning, or I get sore throat, or just feeling blah. It has to do with the infusing process that I react to. The cheapest cigars, I have the least reaction to those. So yeah, those are the ones I smoke most often. But I don't smoke as often as I used to. Yeah, there's some trolls in the comment section. You should know that. The last video, why does that happen? I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't do it anymore. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm napping, don't think that I know exactly what I'm doing at all times. There's this misconception that people have that every flake is controlled and everything is done on purpose. You get into napping and you understand that's not a thing once you understand it. But still, I got to remind people, a lot of times I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know why it's doing it. If I knew why I was doing it, I wouldn't do it. I can't help it. I mean, it's not my fault. They said he was the nicest. What? I really enjoyed chewing tobacco. The molasses and salt make it really tasty. Yeah, I tried chewing tobacco as well. I'm not that much of a nicotine enthusiast. A little bit of nicotine is good for me. The chewing gives me too much. Although I like it, but no, I can't do it. As cheap as they are, I do enjoy Sweet Jane. Yeah, once in a while I'll smoke one of those. Yeah, I agree. The infused cigars are nice, and they smell good too. As far as the secondary smoke, yeah, the best secondary smoke that I've experienced is from the Christoph cigars. A lot of cigars, you puff on them, they taste great, but you leave them sit, and the secondary smoke is nasty. But with the Christoph cigars, I don't know why that came into my head, but I remember that those smell very nice, no matter what. Well, the ones I tried. Where can I find good copper rod indirect percussives? eBay. Yeah. Let's see if I can respond. Can I reply? Go to channel pin message. I can't reply to your comment, right? Because I could give you a link to eBay, but just do a search for 3/8 inch copper rod on eBay, and it'll come up with a bunch of options. You just got to search for the cheapest. Or just go to my, I'm going to post a video tonight. If you're up, I've got a video I made earlier. I'll post it later. And then ask the question again, and I'll give you the link to where I buy my copper rods. Okay? Okay. What happened to the Freeze Crack? He was one I learned from originally. Yeah, Freeze Crack was a funny guy too. I mean, humorous. And I enjoyed watching his videos. And I've seen him at some nap-ins. I think he just got tired of some I think there was some drama going on that he, you know, from what I heard, there was too much drama. Yeah, that's what I heard. It's too much drama, and there is some drama among some people in the Flint napping community. Yeah, like everything else. Let's see. No one's asking me about my music preferences anymore. Do you have any interest in trying the man-made napping materials such as Nap Easy? Yeah, I'll try it, but it seems similar or maybe exactly the same as a high-grade porcelain, which I've already tried. It's good stuff, um, but it's better to get it for free. Yeah, I mean, I like Ryan Gill. I'm not going to downplay. I have no reason to criticize the Nap Easy stuff. But I have tried high-grade porcelain. It's pretty good stuff. I have not bought anything off his site though, as far as that goes. Um, the comment was someone saying they were going to follow Jason too. They said, I refuse to believe anything. Yeah, don't believe anything you hear on the internet. Is right. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. I'm missing it. It's everything. Some of these things are going over my head. Yeah, we shouldn't be talking about other people in the chat, so you know better than that. But you can tell which ones are the trolls. You can ignore them. I should delete. Let me see if I can delete that one. Ah, I deleted the message. I feel powerful now. Really? No. Easy peasy. Yeah, somebody's. I'm going to remove these. That's not trolling. That's just what they call libel. All right. We're lucky. We're just deleting the comments. We could go after you for libel if we wanted to. Let's see. I have napped. I know the stone doesn't want to be an arrowhead. Yeah. You are in a battle to create things. No one knows what they are doing. They learn, try things. Yeah. Yep. Very true. Hello from Denmark. Ken Christensen. Awesome. Is it early? It's going to be really early in the morning. You need to get ready for work. Okay. All right. Same old, same old. You got to change up your MO. You the troll. These trolls are going to change their MO. That's why I think they're the same guy. Multiple personality guy is doing these because it's the same almost every time there's a comment. Yeah. I can post a comment in the live. All right. Let's see. But okay. You're right. Where is my... I don't have my clipboard though. See, what I wanted to do is cut and paste from my clipboard. I got to figure out how to do that. Anyways, it's good to know. I didn't realize that it's at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I can comment if I want. All right. Well, I thought maybe something had happened to him. No, everyone's still fine. Yeah. Freeze Cracked, he's still around. I see him sometimes at Nap-ins. He doesn't go to Nap-ins anymore, though, as far as I know. Let's clarify this. I used to see him at Nap-ins once in a while, but I haven't seen him actually at a Nap-in. Jerry, Freeze Cracked. Can you nap crockpot glazed porcelain? Yes. Yep. And the thicker the better. The thin stuff, you can nap the thin stuff, but it's pretty challenging. It snaps easy. I saw a guy napping with a copper sphere. It was like a stone hammerstone. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you can buy copper spheres on eBay. I've napped with those too, for a short period of time because for some reason, I guess I got too tired napping with those. It's much less fatiguing with a handle on the copper. Yeah. Maybe that slate was a piece of scale overlapping armor. Who knows? Could be. It might also be like a flat thing that you need. You carry around something flat that you can put down and then either grind up pigment on it or something that you would need a little flat spot. Maybe chop up something to eat or smoke. A lot of this stuff, archaeologists don't go into it too much, but a lot of the stuff is from the tobacco culture. You can put tobacco down onto the flat stones and light it on fire, or put a coal or an ember, and then enjoy the smoke that way. That sort of thing. Those are just my ideas. A lot of the archaeologists don't go into the tobacco culture, but I think a lot of items that are found are from that culture. I spy 2 troll accounts. Yes, I do too. When the weather breaks a little, I will get that Onondaga out for you. Out to you. Really? Who's exchanging Onondaga? Are you talking to me? Yeah, I see what you're trying to do. It's got to be the same guy with multiple handles. Yeah. Maybe the slate with a. Okay, let's see. Still Friday the 31st here. Maybe it's the 13th backwards, bringing out the weirdos. I'm going to. Let me see. Where is he? Can you guys can block so you can't see these jokers, right? Let's see. I love your videos. They're so nice and relaxing to watch. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm glad they're relaxing. Yeah. I wonder sometimes that people are like this. He's gonna break it. He's gonna break it. He's gonna break it. But I'm thinking that maybe the videos are not relaxing, but they're more of a anxiety type of thing. But no, I guess not. Yeah, don't. Let's see. I've been busy cleaning, oiling, and sharpening my knives today. Picked up some nice an old timer yesterday. Or what are those? I don't know what those are. Freeze crack napped a point from a local rock I gave him at Letchworth, Little Falls Church. Interesting. You go to Letchworth, Bushy, next time. We might be able to arrange it so we're both there at the same time. Yes, I emailed you the other day. You report them. Okay. Yeah, just report the trolls. Yeah, you can do it. If it gets on my nerves, it's the same guy. I'll just keep removing the comments. I just napped our crock pot and toilet lid. My wife is mad at me. Send help. Don't get that desperate. I know you're joking. The clock is 3:26 here in Denmark, and it's fine. I don't have to go to work. Oh, okay, cool. It's a weekend. I should have known. Awesome. Vintage case and old timer pocket knives. I see. So I thought that was liquor you were advertising. Who's Tin TV? Are you a napper? Some of your videos are real nail biters. Okay. But most have been easy watching in the past few months. Yeah. I'm also trying to stay a little bit thicker than usual on some of these. And those are much less of a nail biter. Yeah, Kier Nasher, good to see you. Did you just join in? I finally got off work just in time. What did I miss? Ah, Brian, you didn't miss anything. I've been just blabbing. There's this has no I'm not imparting any educational value. We're just messing around here. I had mentioned in the previous video pureed food being usable for glue. Any thoughts? I think starches and fibrous foods might be okay. Protein and gluten are variables. Poop is processed food, yeah, but it's not. It's processed by microbes, not by us. Well, yeah, it is in the beginning, but there's too many microbes. Uh, if you look into something called fruit leathers, it's a strange name, right? But it's just you blend fruit in a blender, you stick it on a sheet, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and all the water evaporates, and all you're left with is a layer of what looks like leather. You put it on wax paper, and it peels right off, like those fruit roll-ups, right? Some of those fruit leathers contain enough pectin that it gets hard enough that you can use it as glue, and you can heat it up. It will soften when you heat it up. The true Arrowhead glue, well, the best Arrowhead glue, I shouldn't say true, but the best ones are the ones that you can apply with heat and it cools down fast. So you have something that doesn't require a lot of drying time. Now, I was looking into the other day, I was looking into spruce gum as glue for arrowheads. And it can be used as glue for arrowheads, but it takes time to soften up the spruce gum, chew it, and then apply it and wait for it to harden. It takes longer than a few minutes for it to fully harden after you've been chewing on the spruce gum. But spruce gum, chewed spruce gum, can be used for glue on arrowheads. And I think it was used a lot in this area of the Northeast. And they say you can also chew pine rosin that way. It breaks up first, and you've got to spit out a lot of the nasty terpenes and other ingredients. It's a slightly toxic, but you chew it, you spit, you chew, you spit until it becomes soft enough to continuously chew. At first, it breaks up, and you got to wait for your mouth to warm it up, and then the saliva starts to dissolve it slightly. So you keep spitting and then chewing, spitting and chewing until you get that soft blob that eventually forms. I'll have to do a video on it. Gonna have to. I might go to Flint Ridge this fall too. Okay. Yeah. We got to make sure we get to one of these events at the same time. Have you ever thought about letting someone pay you for an apprenticeship? Yes. I've had at least 2 people ask me to travel to where they are so that I could teach them knapping for a week or 2. And they would pay full expenses and whatever I charge for per hour. I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. No. I would like to, but I don't know. I don't know how to fit it into my schedule. I have taught by video with Zoom a couple times. I didn't charge for that. But that was when that was years ago when I was first getting into knapping and stuff. I just can't fit it into my schedule these days. Even though I have more time, I'm using that time to go deeper into primitive skills. I was biting my fingers on your last video. I know that tough obsidian overshot's really easy. Yeah, it does. Hey, Bill Taylor. Yeah. You're the one that got the obsidian from. That's pretty awesome. I've never dealt with obsidian that strong and yet that weak sometimes. It has extremes. Let's see. Dehydrated fruit. Yeah, dehydrated fruit puree. Great stuff. Yeah. Some of that can be used as glue. I'll tell you one heck of a natural glue is that little eye booger. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, well, I guess my internet is involved with a subject. Well, as far as poop being used as part of Arrowhead glue in the past, there's no proof of that. Just in case you don't know, there's no evidence of it. Spruce gum is great. Pine is not. Yuck. All right. Yeah, I got to get some spruce gum. We have spruce trees, but there's a misconception that if YouTube, no, not YouTube, if Google says that the tree grows in the Northeast, I should be able to walk 2 steps and find it here in Vermont. No, I have to go at least a couple miles to get to one. I know there's a stand of spruce trees, and that's not right in my backyard. I have black locust in my backyard and maple, sugar maple, and another type of maple in my backyard, and all the little bushes and stuff. I got raspberries and all that kind of stuff. But as far as trees go, I've got to walk or drive to get to the spruce trees, to the pine trees, to the, they say there's black birch here, but I haven't found any, and I've traveled all the way around. I'll probably have to travel 30 minutes or so to get to a black birch tree, that kind of thing. They're not all available at the same or within a few minutes in the same area. Just because I live up in the Northeast doesn't mean I have immediate access. I just want to get that off my chest, okay? Yeah. Let's see. Who's sticking arrows in there? Yeah. Spruce gum is great. Yep. Ever had spruce beer? No. That sounds very natural. I've heard of birch beer. Kyle, I have been playing a guitar 30 years. Zoom napping session, very cool. Yes. And what was funny is one of the guys, he was napping completely wrong because during the napping session, he had misconstrued the angle in the opposite way. So yeah, it helped him a lot. I just said, you know what? You're holding it in the completely the opposite, like you were looking at videos in a mirror or something. And he goes, really? I said, yes, it's totally opposite from what you're holding it. Oh, okay. And voila. So I sympathize with people who want personal instruction because sometimes it just doesn't, even if they are seeing it, they're really not seeing it in the right way. And I poke fun at people who can't see unless I say something, but there are people who are not able to see it in the proper way. It's rare, but yeah, I've encountered that. I like to just use pine glue, and then over the sinew, I use hide glue to seal everything. I don't like using hide glue to seal things because it gets too sticky. If I use hide glue on anything, I have to coat it with a layer of talc so it won't get sticky. I don't know why. If I coat something with hide glue, it's too sticky for me. Anyone who plays guitar for 30 years in old school, yeah. Not a tree expert, but still have pine sap from a gigantic trees up here in the Sierra Nevadas. As hard as stone. Very good. Now, Try it on arrows and see if it sticks to try it on arrowheads and see if it sticks to heat treat stone or obsidian. Just glue it and then break apart the seal. You'll break it apart, but some glues work better than others. And I bet you the harder the pine rosin, the easier it'll snap. It breaks, and it won't be a really good glue. You got to mix it with something like gum base or chewing gum, basically. Mix the pine rosin with chewing gum. Makes it a little more flexible. And not after you've chewed it. Buy it from the store. Make sure it doesn't have sugar in it. Well, it couldn't have sugar if you want. Mix it in with heat with the pine rosin 50-50. And that is a better glue, in my opinion. And it smells minty too, or whatever. Peppermint, cinnamon, whatever. All right. See? Let's see. Nothing works better than... Yeah. We know what you're up to. Definitely heard the rumor, and it causes infection. Ensuring. Okay. No, there's other poisons that were used in the past, other than animal excrement. Yeah. You don't want to use something that's too contagious to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mary. You can actually spit on an arrowhead, and the saliva from a person's mouth is one of the worst things in terms of infection. Yeah. That's the easiest way to poison an arrowhead. Just spit on it. Believe it or not. The green mountain. I remember you mentioning. Yeah, there's a culture that says the mix for arrowhead glue is rosin, charcoal, and rabbit poop or whatever. It's a culture. It's not a fact. It's just one of these things that comes out as a culture. There's no proof for it. Yeah, superb hot glue. Superb. I never use scat or anything like that within my hot glues. And I considered my hot glues superb as well. I just remember the Tomahawk debate. So a Tomahawk my grandparents found was a blunt and round. Definitely not Flint. The Flint Tomahawk seems fantasy. Yeah, the Flint Tomahawk, for the most part, yeah. Now, I've seen chert, a double-ended chert blade with constriction in the middle, so it can be mounted like a tomahawk or as a war club. The tomahawks that we see in movies were developed from a design, oddly enough, from the Navy, from the ships that come over. They used to have little axes that they would have hanging up on the walls inside of rooms in case you were trapped in a burning ship and couldn't escape out the door. You could take one of those axes off the wall. It had a pick on one side and an axe head on the other. You can use that to try to escape if you couldn't leave a burning room. Okay. And that's where the original tomahawks came from. They were small, very practical axes that could also be used as weapons, but they were mainly used to help you escape a burning ship. Let's see. Rock resin and beeswax. In case you guys don't know, some people are surprised by this, but Native Americans did not have beeswax before the Europeans brought over the honeybees. Just so you know. Yeah, it's back in the discussion because I mentioned it before. Yeah, I have to beat dead horses over and over again. Hey, everybody's saying hi to each other. That's good. Wonder if glue can be made of peach tree sap. I suppose so. I've made glue from pecan tree sap, but the only time the sap is good on pecan trees is in the spring, after the winter, right after the winter, when the buds start coming out. The tree will excrete sap on all of its wounds that occurred over the winter. That sap is very gooey. That's the one you're supposed to collect. It, um, it it's seasonal. Okay, same with other trees. After the winter, in the spring, when the sap starts to flow, it'll secrete special sap to cover its wounds. It's not like the regular sap. Okay, it understands where its wounds are, and that sap that is excreted there is different. Okay, that's the one you're supposed to collect. And the one I collected from mesquite trees, that kind of sap, and from pecan trees, because I was living in Texas. Here, I'm going to look for that sap on spruce trees and pine trees and stuff. So far, like last winter that I was here, I couldn't find any on the damaged pine trees. I don't know why. Maybe someone came up this along the trail. Maybe someone already gathered it, but there was a lot of damage on trees along the trail because of machinery, but no sap. I was amazed. I said, "Why? Why is that? Someone got here before I did? I don't know." But just so you know, the springtime sap is the best. And yeah, peach tree, probably the same thing. It'd be peachy. Yes, it would be. Is it true that the thin arrowheads would explode upon impact and cause shrapnel to eviscerate arteries? No, because they don't explode. They just break. Yeah. Does it cause evisceration of arteries and organs? No. Believe it or not, arteries and organs are kind of tough. Yeah. Um, yeah, just you buy a beef heart and try sticking it over and over again with an arrow. How do I know this? I don't know. You'll see. It takes a firmly hafted point to make real damage on an internal organ. The shrapnel and the broken pieces and all that, they don't do much damage. It just sounds good in online. Okay. Have you ever made a Mongolian recurve bow? Nope. That's a challenging project right there. I know a guy that does it, and I could apprentice with the guy. I say the guy, he's a friend of mine. I can apprentice with someone that knows how to make those. Of course, I got to pay him, but I could learn. Yeah. Might be something worthwhile to learn. I would like to make one of those Mongolian recurve bows. Yep. I would also like to learn how to ride a horse like that. Yeah. What time is it? Do I got 10 minutes left? We got 10 minutes left, guys. Love the stream. It's so relaxing to listen to while I play the computer. Yeah, cool. Or play. I guess you're playing the game on the computer. Cool. I'm missing a bunch of chat. Metal detecting. What's up, Crafty? I've been napping for 30 years. Love your videos. Thank you very much. People in South America glued chunks of obsidian to swinging weapons for maximum flesh carnage, not for chopping wood. Very interesting. What is the purpose of poop in the glue? To make it more natural. To make it sound like you know what you're talking about. There is no purpose. No. They say it's for adding plant fiber to make it hold together better. But you can get better plant fiber if you take 2 steps and strip some bark off of dog bane or whatever. I'm exaggerating. You might have to look further, but if you want strong plant fiber, you don't want something that's been digested. It works, right? But heck, you could put your own hair into the glue and it'll work too. Just chop up your own hair and put it in the glue. It's a lot more sanitary. It makes a lot more sense than to go looking for scat. The only purpose, and I might get flack for this, is to make you sound like you know what you're talking about. That's the only purpose. And it just proves you don't know what you're talking about. Have you ever had a tomahawk steak? It's the finest cut of beef. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing out. Have you heard of it? Let's see. The finely digested and rechewed plant fibers from ruminants is like rebar to the glue. Makes it easy, less prone to cracking. Yeah, that's what they say. Human hair is a lot stronger. You might get mad at me for saying that. As an example, you can take your own human hair and make a much stronger bond, a much stronger rebar, so to speak. I want to make a bow out of a long. I don't know if Gear Nasher, if you're saying that truthfully, let me know if you really believe that it's like rebar within the glue, or you're just kind of poking fun. It goes over my head. I don't know if you're joking or if you're serious. I want to make a bow out of a long gazelle horn. Yes, I've seen bows made from long horns. I don't know if it was gazelle. They work well. No bees here in prehistoric times? Nope. It's not like they'd had to swim. Yeah, Native Americans did not have beeswax before the introduction of honeybees that produced. There are wax producing bees in South America, but they don't produce the type of beeswax that we're used to, that we consider beeswax. The only time I get lucky collecting pine sap is if I see where the beaver has chewed on a pine tree. Yeah. The beavers here, they don't chew on the pine trees for some reason. Brazilian rosewood trees are my favorite trees. What is your favorite tree? Oh gosh. Yeah. It must be the autism because I can't pick a favorite. I like any wood that smells good when you burn it. That's how I choose my favorite wood. Pecan is up there, although I don't like making bows out of pecan. But I like maple, the smell of maple trees, hickory trees. I actually like the smell of mulberry and Osage orange when it burns as well. Although you don't use those for cooking. If it smells good when you're burning it, that's what I like. That's the tree I like. I just got done coating it brown. What? I have a peach festival in town near me. I see the sap on the trees in the orchards. Yeah, try to get some. I use West Virginia red spruce with some plant fiber to make glue. Works great. Awesome. Red spruce. Speaking of sap, I should be harvesting my bow stave before the spring, before the sap flows. Yes. Yep. I mean, you don't have to, but it seems to work well when you harvest it. There's some people that are very particular about when they harvest or gather the bow wood staves. I just tend to not pick a bow stave just after it rains. So I'll collect the wood in summer or spring, fall, whatever. But I tend to go in winter because of the lack of ticks. Yeah. That's the main reason why I go in winter to collect wood is because of the lack of ticks. Here, up to 70% of ticks, the deer ticks, carry Lyme disease. Yeah. The older fir trees in the Pacific Northwest drip like crazy. Mountains of sap, gooey in the spring and summer, and harder in the fall and winter. Definitely collectible. Yeah, around here, I don't see. It's very different. It's so funny. Around here, the trees, when they get big old wounds, oh well, they just brush it off. No, no problem at all. No sap. No need to ooze no stinking sap. Guess that's what the trees are saying. Does Douglas fir sap work for glue? I suppose it would, yes. I've seen very sticky Douglas fir sap on lumber. I said, yeah, that'll work. I've not tried it myself, but it looks like it'll work. What about mesquite wood? Yeah, I like mesquite wood for sure. It does smell good, yeah. But I've made bows from mesquite wood. I don't like the bows that I made from mesquite wood. I think I made 2 bows. Let me think here. Yeah, the sapwood and the heartwood. The sapwood is very different from the heartwood. The heartwood doesn't work very well at all on mesquite. And then the sapwood is much better options in the areas where mesquite grows. Mulberry, for one, is much better. And if you can find live oak straight enough, that's the best bow wood in those areas. Live oak, sometimes you can find elm. Elm works really good too. Use a lot of mesquite for my wood stove. The sap is very crackly and full of sugar. Ah, yes, that is true. The sap is very crackly. Come on. I got to figure out how to not advance the chat. Like, it just takes off and I can't get back to where I was before. I have to be very careful about pushing the up and down arrows. Lots of tomahawk steak is a ribeye with a long rib attached. Oh, there you go. That does sound awesome. Yeah, ribeye is one of my favorite cuts for sure. Public, let's see. Fear of missing out on the steak. Yes, I am. Yeah. It's funny what we talk about, huh, Mike? Let's see here. Good idea. I tested pine rosin with charcoal and without ground deer pellets. Big difference in flexibility with pellets. I'll try anything once. Yeah, I don't find pine rosin flexible at all after heating it and after cooking off the terpenes and all the other volatile gases that come out. So you have to cook it a little while to get those volatile gases out, I think. And it hardens up so that it'll be a solid glue. And the only thing I mix with it is gum base or asphaltum. I don't ever mix, unless I want to be politically correct, I don't mix charcoal in there with it. That's just me. Yeah. I said tomahawk steaks are the fanciest, not the most economically feasible. I see. Ribeye is the best cut, and tomahawk takes it up a notch because minimum they have 4-inch cuts. I see. Now that sounds awesome. We got 1 more minute, guys. We will see you next week. Same time, same place. I'm going to try to get Stonehook to tune in. Awesome. See, I have 2 live streams now. One Wednesday at 2 p.m. and one Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay? Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, so my next live stream will be Wednesday at 2 p.m. There'll be an auction before that. Okay, so auctions posted at 4 p.m. Eastern, but it's not live like this. All right? Okay. Yeah, go have a steak. Don't forget to like the video. Asphaltum, where do you find that? It's called Gilsum powder. You can find it at art supply stores or online. Gilsum, Gilsum. It's expensive when you buy it from art supplies. If you can get it from an industrial supply, that's better. It's a lot cheaper. You can get it by the pound. It's called Gilsum powder or Gilsonite. I could be pronouncing that wrong and spelling it wrong, but Gilsonite is the name, the industrial name. Gilsonite. Gilsonite. Okay. That's it. I'll see you on the next video. Good night.